Page 61, Dolores. Very beautiful melody and a nice arrangement. This is the thing I like most about the John Thompson books. They have really pretty pieces, nice pieces, and nice arrangements for the most part. The only problem is the John Thompson series tends to progress rather rapidly. You don't get a lot of practice of playing pieces about the same level. You're just constantly adding more stuff. However, there are other books and you can do other things to help play more pieces in the I like the John Thompson books though. That's what I used when I was little. Not the adult books. They didn't have them at the time, I don't think. But the regular books, yeah. Let's talk about this. It's 3 pages long. Treble and bass clef to start at least. 1 flat in the key signature. We're either in the key of F major or D minor. Well, if you look at the end, bottom of the page, what, 63, is it? Kind of sounds D minor to me. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's, as far as the scales and arpeggios go, do F major and D minor both. Probably be doing them 2 octaves by now. When you're getting that, but make sure you're doing the trill exercise and the tremolo exercise. They will do you the most good, and the accents. Then 3/4 time signatures. Let's take it one hand at a time and see if we have any problems with the hands. So here, 1, 2, 3, cross over and under. This keeps the hand out here, because if you do this, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it brings the hand in because the thumb is short. So we will just cross over in here. In most cases, and again with an 8th note, same fingering. And this fingering for these notes, that's the fingering for the arpeggio. You're just crossing over. And then cross down. And then in measure 7, they say thumb. You don't need thumb. 3rd finger's fine because of what's coming. This position is where you want to be, not here. So I'm here. So for the 8th notes, I'm just staying there. You can do that fingering, the book is showing, there's just no need to. You can just stay there. And those little notes, I'll come back to those. Right now, just play the quarter notes. Now, I suggest the fingering here for measure 11. 12, just come up and use 3rd finger. That's fine. And then measure 13, reach down again, 3rd finger again. I'm just kind of crawling around a little bit, but I'm not crossing over the thumb or nothing. And reach up. Measure 17, here. Whoops, what's this? Measure 17. 1 and 2 and 3. Because on beat 2 you get a rest. See, when I play it and you say, oh, is that how it goes? Okay, I would really rather you be able to read the music and figure that out and discover how it goes on your own. So with the last 2 beats of the previous page. And this 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. Reach up, do it again. So forth. Bottom of the page, measure 32, I think it is. You're here. We got 2 voices going. That's why the stems are going opposite directions. The top voice, here, going up to there for measure 33. Bottom voice, and then it's going to do 8th notes. So it's, and then you come up here. Now, let's look at page 60, because it's just gone crazy. Right hand plays the dotted half note and the last 3 8th notes. So you got the first 3 8th notes in the bottom staff indicating for the left hand to do it. And then the others in the upper staff. There's other ways of notating it. This is fine. It's just 1 and 2 and... Watch the fingering. I want to connect these. 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and... That's all we're doing. Just make sure you get all the notes. And measure 43. Try and connect these if you can. Reach down. It's easier to go up because you're squishing. Measure 47, it's A flat. You see two flat signs there in measure 47, so careful. The first flat sign is part of the key signature. It's there anyway. It's a B flat, big deal. I don't have a B flat in this measure. It's the A flat I'm after. It just looks weird with the two flat signs as close together. It just worked out that way. Last two measures. 1 and 2 and. Again, just figuring it that way. Left hand, what's it got? We got chuck-chucks, broken chords. Here. 1. Come up here. Let's go down to measure 12, is it? You're here. Then 2, 3, 1. Put a thumb on that last note. That way you can reach the A. Better. Don't go. No, just 2, 3, 1. In a measure 14, you can play those notes with the thumb, both of them. Rather than that. I do that a lot. Lots of people do that a lot. You can too. So let's go over to page 63. It was 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2. And you're done. Right hand does the rest. If you don't want to be up in here, do it. Just finger it. I don't care how you finger it. I'm easy. Sometimes. Here. Or measure 19. If you don't want to do that. Or however you want to do it. And then going on. Measure 41, you're pretty much stuck. That. Unless you cross over. You can do that too if you want, if your hands are really big. Measure 43 though, 42, excuse me. Or cross over. Whichever, just connect them. So up to 1. And then the last line is 1 and. And again, if you don't want to do that, you can do that. We'll put the hands together, and at first I hesitate. I don't care. I just want to know how the fingers are working together. Here and here. The eighth notes by themselves. Here, you got them with the left hand anyway. Let's go to page 63 of it. This mess, it's 1 and 2. Hold this down as long as you can. See, this part used to sound like one hand played it all. Go on. So put the hands together and then go back over a little bit at a time and work out any hesitations anywhere. Go as slow as you need to, but no hesitations. And once I've done that, then I add the articulation. Chuck chuck. These curved lines, like in measures 4 and 5 and so forth, those are slurs. Connect all of this. You have to lift up for the rest. So these are slurs here. Just lift up for the phrasing only. Otherwise, connect it. Here. Measure 11, those little notes. I do a 2, 4, 3. You do a 1. However you want to fingering it. We want third finger on it, so I do a 2, 4, 3, and that puts me there. And I play them with the beat. Some people will play them before the beat. But I play them on the beat. It's what I had to do in college, so that's just what I do. measure 62, an accent and a staccato. Staccato accent here. Staccato accent here. You get the idea? The bottom of the page, measure 32, those tenuto lines, just linger on those connect. Now when you get to measure 43 on his, I would suggest, if you can, just connect it. If you can't, you can do two-note slurs if you want. Okay, otherwise, connect it if you can. Connect what you can. Okay, it's supposed to be smooth, more or less. Now once I have that, I'll think about the dynamics. It applies to the melody, which I think pretty much is in the right hand. MP, mezzo piano, sort of soft, go up to sort of loud. Back down, back to loud. See, I'm moderately loud here because of the crescendo. And I suggest here, I kind of come down a little bit because that crescendo, I just going to go back up to moderately loud. I don't want to get loud yet. No, soft. And then the last two notes in that line at the bottom, MF, mezzo forte, for sort of loud. Anyway, keep the left hand out of the way. So page 62 for the most part is moderately loud in the right. That makes the accent denote a loud note. Start at measure 29. You're kind of slowing down here, you're getting softer. And back to moderately soft here. Page 63. These eighth notes are got to be really out of the background. It should be clear to the listener where the melody is, and that's these half notes. All this other stuff, fluff, keep it out of the way. Then speed. Well, moderato con moto means moderately with motion. Alpha. Those are kind of going to tell you where it is. And the speed on page 63 on those eighth notes, how fast can you do those accurately? And that's going to be your moderato con moto. So however it is. At the bottom of page 61, you get the più mosso. It means more motion. Speed it up a little bit. That's faster. And then at the bottom of the page, on page 62, you get the allargando. That means spread it out, slow it down. You're good. Slow it down. You're back to tempo 1. See at the top of page 63. Tempo 1 means go back to the first speed you were at the beginning. See, sometimes you'll see an odd tempo. Odd tempo means go back to the speed you were going before you slowed down or whatever. Tempo 1 means go back to the speed at the beginning. So whatever I was doing on page 61, that's what I want here. That's why I'm saying how fast can you play page 63 accurately. And that's going to tell you how fast you can go on page 61. They need to be the same speed. Now they've added pedal. And there are parts of this that could use the pedal. We just have to be careful because we don't want to cover up the staccatos and we don't want to smear the melody anymore, and we absolutely have to. Beginning, we're pedaling the first beat of a measure, and this is quite common in 3/4 time. We just reinforce the first beat, the natural accent. So just lift up. That way we still get our chuck chuck. And I don't think we need to pedal measure 4. See, we're not pedaling measure 8, so why pedal measure 4? I would not pedal measure 4. would not pedal measure 11 either. I don't want to smear that. Yeah, so just don't pedal. You can connect these with the fingers. Make sure there's a little silence there at the double bars. It's a new section. It's here, like taking a breath. And measure 17, don't pedal that. Now here they are pedaling like every other measure, and this is done for contrast. We have a difference between and this. So it's contrast going back and forth. Adds a little interest, I guess. It's interpretation. If you like that sound, fine. If you don't like it, then go back to just the first beat of the measure for page 62. Just make sure we get the staccato. It's interpretation. Different people will interpret it differently. They'll feel it differently. When you get to measure, 28 here. Here, I would pedal with the melody. I don't want to smear it. I don't want to smear that. Change it. Actually, I just don't pedal measure or beat 3. You don't really need to pedal those 2 measures at all. Last beat or the last measure of that page, go ahead and pedal it like it's shown. And then measure 63. Now we're going to connect all these overnotes and overtones, the eighth notes. Get that? Basically, it's the pedaling there. When you get to measure 43 here, no, I would change the pedal with each beat. I don't want to mix these. No, change it. Just change it with each beat. Or leave the pedal out. Whichever, I don't know which sound you like. And then for the last line, you go ahead and pedal it like it's shown. We want that staccato, the last 2 measures. You have to listen carefully to the effect the pedal is having to the sound. If that's what you want, fine. If not, fix it. Or your teacher will tell you what they like, and you do that too. Now we have this page turn to deal with. When you're performing it, you got to have some way that you can get this page turn in without messing up the beat. Don't mess up the beat. Ugh. I've heard people do that. So there's different possibilities. The first choice is always memorize the piece. Just memorize it. You don't have to worry about it. Or at least memorize page 61. In that case, you don't have to worry about it. How? If you can't or don't want to do that, then maybe somebody is there to turn the page for you. If you can't get anybody to turn the page for you and you have to do it yourself, now we've got to figure out how we're going to do it. Well, if there's some place where one hand isn't busy, they're resting, then you turn the page there with that hand. You may have to memorize a measure or 2 to do it, but that works too, where you can just use one hand that's resting to turn the page while the other hand is playing. Here, that doesn't work very well. All you get is 2 beats there at the end. They don't last long enough to turn the page. So what do? Well, one is you leave out notes. That's last choice. We don't want to leave out notes. If you do have to leave out notes, you can't leave out melody notes. We got to have the melody. You have to figure out some other notes to. Sometimes I can play the notes for one hand in the other hand, and that frees up the one hand to turn the page right quick. That works too. We've got to figure something out. Well, at the bottom of page 61, we have this. Here. This, once you play it, it's done until you do this. So we have a little bit. I can turn the page there. Let the pedal just ring out through that. here through the whole thing, so I can free my right hand up to turn the page right quick, and then I have those last two notes on page 61, I memorize them. I can memorize those. Change. I could do it that way. We practice page turns if we have to. I practice a lot of page turns to make sure I can get them in, and the book lies okay, open okay. It's not going to close or nothing on me, so it works in the performance. So I suggest you try that. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do louds and softs, and I can't do the page turn. So we're going to do page 61, and we're going to stop. I'm going to turn the page. I'm going to count us in and give us another 3 beats, and then we'll do the rest of it. I can't take it at different speeds. We're going to do the whole thing at one speed. I'm going to pedal it like I suggested. 1, ready, go. Stop, turn the page, 1, ready, go.